So hello guys, welcome back to our another episode of our podcast named HACKCAST. This is our third episode, and yeah, we have launched some courses related to bug bounties, web development, advanced topics of bug bounties. So you can check that on our website, and here are some reviews.
I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays.
So these are some reviews. If you're interested into it, then you can check the link in the description. Now let's get into the podcast.
Hi all, my name is Renganathan. I'm from Chennai. I'm a bug bounty hunter. So I also do run a startup called R Protocols. So we kind of like provide pen testing and services. And like also I'm building one more something related to security. It's not just generalized with that. It's currently in the basic stage. I built and like we stored, so it's in the basic user research stage, and not a pro bug hunter, obviously. Learning and failing every day. So yeah, that's it pretty much.
I just want to say something on the like I'm not a pro bug hunter. There's a lot of people who are like, how can I become pro bug hunter? And no, I'm not a pro hunter. I'm a noob hunter. So my perspective on this thing is like there are only two types of hunter: consistent and non-consistent.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Maybe I can say I'm
There is no one pro. Like if you are consistent, you know a lot of things. You learn
correct.
for a
This
month,
makes a lot of sense.
you are not even equal to a noob.
Correct. This makes a lot of
So
sense.
yeah, I want to differentiate that thing as consistent and non-consistent instead of
This
pro and
makes a lot of sense. Probably I can say I'm not really consistent because like I just now stepped into college. Like I'm 18. I'm still in the first year of my college. So I got 12 hours of my college from morning 6 to evening 6. And yeah, I have very less time for huntings in the recent days. So most of the time, like I spend recon with my phone, and now I can realize how kind of challenging is that. And also, like many people do recon in the phone, so that's a very good thing about those people. Salute to them.
the hunting using the phone is like really underrated. A lot of people are like, I don't know,
Yeah,
like, I can't do it. But you all know there are a lot of people who are doing with just smart.
correct. And they're making a lot of bugs, so that's one thing.
Yeah. So it's all about doing it rather than making some excuses.
Excuses doesn't exist.
Yep. They exist, but don't have to use it. Like
Correct.
so. As always, we are gonna start this podcast with our basic question. Elaborate how your journey was. What's the special moment like when you started it? What's the story behind it?
Okay, so actually, I wanted to become a musician. So I'm a rapper. So I was making music and I was into those stuff. So starting with 2019, I wanted to become a musician. I'm a rapper. So I saw an interview of a Tamil ethical hacker. His name is Mr. Sankarraj Subramanian. He's based out of Tamil Nadu. Like he got 16 years of experience. He's an entrepreneur, hacker. So he do a lot of stuff. So I saw one of his interview and I was like, no, this is really amazing, man. So I was kind of inspired by those stuff. And it's 2020 May month. The COVID got hit, and like we all were in the lockdown, and that's when I started my journey. So I started with the the basics. Like almost, I guess, Zaid Sabi got saved by everyone, right? Most of them got
That
started with
that
Zaid.
guy has created a lot of great stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. I started with that course, learn ethical hacking from scratch. But still, that was not the perfect path. And then I went back to basics like how web works, how computer works, networking related stuff, servers, and some clouds related stuff. And yeah, and one more thing, like I'm not a programmer. I don't really code. I just have basic coding knowledge. and yeah, I am also learning that, just to make that. A lot of people ask, like, is programming required or not? I guess you got a question like that. We'll come to that probably.
Yeah.
And I started with 2020 May, and somewhere, like, I started working on those stuff. And I did a Google Talking on a university and got a first bounty from them. I didn't expect that to get a bounty, but still I just reported them. It was just a Google Talking which I used, and those small things which motivated me a lot. So I kind of became consistent probably in 2020, I guess. So I found my first bug with LinkedIn. It was more like a kind of a DOS with mobile app. First, I guess we've been using LinkedIn, and we have a feature exists that you will be able to send personalized invitation request. You can write a note and send a request to someone on LinkedIn. So what I did is I found a way to bypass that. So there was no kind of a server side validation. So that kind of created a DOS, and I got my first bug like that. LinkedIn really motivated me, and then came with UN. I got my first hit with the United Nations Hall of Fame, and a few things started like that. So I kind of, probably I'll say 2021. I was kind of consistent with my bug bounties and stuff, and still I don't really hunt on HackerOne or Bugcrowd. Like, mostly I prefer self-hosted programs or something like that. But now maybe
PDP, preferably.
VDP and RDP, VRP, something like that. But maybe in the recent days, I'm in love with the Cognizant program on HackerOne. Like, kind of like, I guess 2 or 3 bugs got triaged with Cognizant.
Program?
Cognizant, CTS.
Okay.
So 2021 September, I was booking tickets in IRCTC. I didn't had any intention to on that platform, but I just got a spidey instinct for an IDOR, because, like, I had read Avanish Pathak, not Avanish Pathak. I guess he's Avinash. He's known as Logic Bomb on Twitter. I saw his write up on IDOR on IRCTC like 3 years ago. I was like, why? Probably again there must be an IDOR. Like, why not? So again, I gave a try, and I found an endpoint, where the transaction ID was validating all the requests. So I made a blog on that, and like someone from Toy like approached me, and then like Hindu happened. Like this kind of went viral, and I was giving a few interview. My minister came to this, this was come to his notice. So minister, he met me. Like, actually, I met him. I was called by him. So those things were happening, and I would say that it was insane. Actually, like, people say, like, oh, you found a bug, you became very popular. I don't think that's really true, because
I that privilege in my college. So I got like, there's a restriction to only wear, like, there was a diploma college. There's some of dress code.
okay,
I got only able to wear full sleeves and jeans. I'm so lazy. Like, in my current closet, I'll be having track pants. I'm not a big fan of denims. A very rare guy.
same
So
here. I have 6 same black shirts. If you
that's
take a
it.
look at my Instagram, almost all the posts will be a gray shirt or a black shirt. I think we hate formals.
Yeah. Being hacker is like a being so comfortable with your own zone
Exactly.
while actually not doing anything hard. Like, it seems like you are in comfort zone. You have to sit on the laptops. You just click this. Now the money is dropping down. Okay, but actually we are out of our comfort zone. Not playing games, missing the war zone. So it's kind of both at the same time.
Yes,
So let's get back to the point.
correct. I think the 1.5 years was completely out of my comfort zone, because I put my full efforts for 1.5 years, like learning all the things and stuff. Maybe now, even now, like, I'm learning and working on things, but I would say from 2020 May to 2021 December, that was kind of insane, because like after the IRCTC stuff, I was doing a few more things, and I got like invited by a university at Bangalore for a talk on security and stuff. So those things were happening, and then like I guess like I gave my fifth or sixth talk at a few universities, getting some Hall of Fame, like getting some stuff, and also like thing with my R protocol, the startup. I started approaching various startups. I feel like rejection is very common. I'd say I love failing in the recent days, because the more and more you fail, you get new ways to explore how not you can do a mistake. This
If
makes
you read a whole book on anything, like the knowledge is like this, but when you fail on little things, the knowledge is like this.
correct.
So
Exactly.
like the failing is a big step.
This is like this may sound cliched. This may sound like a Gary V speaking, but I guess this is the once you start with entrepreneurship, like I don't think I'm the person for entrepreneurship to speak about that, but still, like in being in the beginning stage, I say like I'm loving to fail. So that's how things got started, and
In
yeah.
hunting, there is also failing. A lot of people are like you can say that yesterday my 8 batches started, so I'm having a lot of unique questions. So most people are like, okay, we can't find any bug. I am telling you that how much time you're spending on a target. Particularly, if I say so, they are not spending more than like half hour maximum, or they are trying only limited stuff. The main stuff that we are supposed to do is like, according to me, it's like understanding the request and response. What do
Yes,
you think?
exactly. I guess I saw a tweet of Godfather Orwell saying, all you need is a browser and Bob suit. You don't need any hundreds of tools."
Yeah, that's so true. I recently, before this podcast started,
Hmm.
I got a message, like not a message, WhatsApp call. Like, sir, you gave us some programs, and I'm unable to find something on it because it is only having 3 subdomains. I said subdomain doesn't matter.
Correct.
Just look at the function. That's a whole Zomato copy app.
Yes, exactly. Because like the people, the programmer, the developers, they will be keep on getting bugs, and like they will be fixing in their pipeline. So obviously, when they make changes, security stuff also get affected. So when a new feature is added, or a bug, a normal something with a UI or UX bug, anything like that, so the whole code gets changed, and obviously there will be a security loophole which can be tested for.
Definitely, like it is not like that. Okay, these websites having this much hunts, or these websites having this much reports. It doesn't mean anything. If you really wanna hunt,
Exactly, correct. And also, I saw two write-ups. One is by what is it? What is it? People, Snapsec. They wrote a blog saying we had Lark suit for 1 month, and here is what we found. Maybe I'll just send you this write-up. I'll just put it in the chat. Maybe you can just put it in the description of the something. And one more by Sam Curry.
mm-hmm.
We hacked Apple for 3 months, and here is what we found.
Yeah, like spending time on a program is a great thing.
Yes, actually, like after reading those two write-ups, like, and I'll be like, full motivation, bro. Come on, bro. Like at
You
that
have to
time,
be consistent.
correct, exactly. Like the consistent, the damn consistent. That really matters. Oh, I'm sorry for the word. Like those guys, like they take a target. And hack it for 3 or 4 months, and like they make a lot of bugs, and find a lot of money. So,
Like let's forget the 3 or 4 months. In fact, if you spend 3 or 4 days, that will be even great.
correct, but I think like once for target like Apple, I guess we
I spent only 3 hours for submitting 4 reports. So
yeah,
I
exactly.
recently Yesterday actually.
Hmm.
One of my friend was on a call. Like I'm starting the new classes, so I'm getting a lot of calls from the new students. How to do this? How to do that? So my simple answer to everything is like be consistent, bro. There is nothing
Right.
else that you have to check. There's nothing else you have to do. You are having already enough knowledge about everything.
Correct.
If
Exactly.
you know how to use Burp Suite, if you know how to use the basic command to WSL, you are good to go. You don't have you don't need the knowledge like a complete advance. You don't need to remember the how to take over AWS. That's
Correct.
available on blog. It's all about approach.
Agreed. So, just to add on this, I use a particular SaaS application, and
Mhm.
they have a bug bounty program. I'm a regular user of it. Like I use it like almost in my daily day-to-day basis. So what happened is like they have a bug bounty program, and the one thing is like I like on using that I kind of like maybe this bug will exist. So I tested for something, and I found that vulnerability, and then I reported, but still it turned out to be a duplicate. The thing is like actually I didn't do any testing on that application. I was normally using that app for a few weeks or a few months, but you don't need any tools or softwares. So the first thing maybe I'll say is like maybe you should pick a target which has a less scope, maybe something like a landing page and app.target.com, preferably kind of a SaaS or something which has like lot of features like adding team members or like editing profile settings, like commenting, inviting team members, or like something like that, kind of a SaaS app which has a lot of features. Don't do any testing or like don't enumerate subs or something like that. Just use the app for 1 or 2 hours. Just run burpsuit in the back end, and just keep collecting all the response, and do some spidering with less requests, like make sure you don't get blocked. I guess like that is the main thing, because like I used the app, and I didn't do any sub animation or showdown or something like that. I was using that app. I was well versed with that application, so I know what features were there. I think it's more like the IRCTC stuff. We all been using IRCTC for a long time, but like it's not like you start with sub enumeration and something like that. First, try to understand the flow of the application. Just use the application for 1 hour or 2 hours. Don't use any tools. Just run with Burpsuit in the backend. You will get an idea of how the application works, and then you can start doing your testings.
We all have to learn the basic of everything. Like sometimes people are like, why you are teaching the basics, right? Where we're spending 2 weeks in our 8 week course. In this just basics, you're just sending us videos of some XYZ person, right? I am telling that these 10 hours or these 12 hours are gonna prepare you to understand the values that are gonna, like you can say that you will see in the requests and responses, right? Because in every batch or in every experience you get students like, I want every resource right now, we will see the remaining in the next. I said okay, but it's your own risk. And they are
Right.
like, we don't care, we don't have to fear about anything, it's okay, like we need everything right now. And I'll be like, okay, these are all the resources that we were going to use, and it's all right, we see you soon. And then the people's after like 3 or 4 weeks, they are unable to understand this request, and I'm be like, I think you need to attend the basic sessions again.
Correct.
So
I guess
basic is important.
even
People,
like maybe you should brush your basics like once again. Like I attended the CAP exam yesterday, or like a day before yesterday, the Certified AppSec Practitioner exam by SecOps Group. Like that was a good kind of a like it will give you a through for your basics and stuff. And then I was thinking maybe like once again maybe I should give a visit for something with related to cryptography. So I guess it's not like you learn something and you don't touch them for a long time. Even now, I learn subnetting often. Like things like subnetting with networking. As far as for me, I was like how this works and what are the things that I which can be done with this, or how often these things work, and something like that. I guess we shouldn't miss the basics. Let it be for anything, even for a bug bounty or something like that. You understand the basic flow of the application, you get well versed with that. Tools and softwares really doesn't matter. I guess burp suit will be more than enough. So basics should be revised all the time.
Basics are something like the exact thing that you will need and that you need, right? Like currently the bug bounty space or the whole cyberspace related to this thing, everything that if you check like, okay, how to get started into this topic, you will select networking, basics, development, this, that.
Correct.
Now, okay, we can accept that they are required, but they are not necessary at all, right? Even
Exactly.
I'm very bad. Like you can say, I suck at networking. I'm so bad.
I
But
agree.
still, okay, I'm getting bounties. It's not about what you know, how much you know.
When it comes to the corporate side, you will understand how and where you lack at things. Like I attended a interview a few months ago. I cannot disclose the company name. I attended, and I was I had an interview, a theoretical interview. Uh, like actually it was more like a kind of an internship for a company. I sent my resume, and then that got shortlisted, and there was a theoretical interview. It was an online interview, face-to-face interview, so on the video cam. The thing it was like I was like, okay, that was more related to a pen tester job role. I was like, okay, I can hack into these companies, but what is the main purpose? If if in case you don't know the basic networking, or you don't know how hashing and cryptography works, or if you don't know what A is or RSA, something like that. So and then but still I managed to answer all of the question. But the main problem was I was asked to work kind of 40 hours a week, and then I had problems with my college timing, so that thing happened. And also there was actually a CTF. Even yeah, the CTF was good. So I guess when you attend the interviews or something like that, you will realize what are the things which has to be brushed up for your subjects.
Definitely.
I guess everyone should give up an interview. You get selected or not, or if you get selected, that's well and good. But maybe it's I know a few
It
people.
actually help you to show that how you are under the water.
Yeah, exactly. Not all the companies really cares about your bounties or like that. It's actually the company which I went for. Firstly, there was a company which I worked for on surety. That was an internship, and that went well. And the second company, I cannot disclose this. And they were like, okay, you got bug bounties, you got Hall of Fame, something like that. But still, we will have these interviews, and they had CTF and stuff. So maybe you should often just go for interviews like you're going for a movie. So that will help you to brush up with your basics and advanced concepts.
Definitely. Basics is the most important thing, personally.
Correct.
Now, let's move to another question. What's your favorite bug?
My favorite bug. Anything with I guess authentication and authorization,
Okay.
and also business logic errors, logical issues.
Okay.
So let me quote this. Okay, so this one thing. I was testing a SaaS app. So what happened is there was a feature that will allow you to link our website to their application and redirect to the custom domain of our company website. So, but what happened is, unfortunately, their own domains were not blacklisted. So, one of the domain which is owned by their own company, I was able to redirect with this application. So, that kind of like gave me, it more like a subdomain redirection. So those things happened. So these kinds of logical issues, like you need to understand how the flow works and all this stuff. So I guess these things really matters.
Definitely. And now, what's your highest bounty?
Highest bounty. I guess, like I wouldn't say it's a bounty. It's a pen test. I got 6 figures Indian currency.
Okay, that's great. And what's your favorite program like in the whole journey? Is there a program that you like the most?
Favorite program, I guess, I'm working on a private program now, SaaS. I
Okay.
kind of like got $4 in few hours.
So
Hopefully they are not duplicate.
that's cool. That's cool. Now, like if a beginner is asking you how to get started in the whole field, how would you reply? Like, what's the exact reply for any beginner?
Any beginner. So I guess, like, it's obviously networking first. Like, people wanted to, people will ask, like, bro, how to hack Wi-Fi. So, like, if you don't know what is the basic WP or WEP, it's not like, you will be able to hack into a Wi-Fi network. So, it's obviously the basic networking first, and then, like, it comes to like programming. And yeah, we do have a question, like programming is important or not for bug bounties. Just like before you said, it is not, it's not like compulsorily you need it, but programming will, yeah, it will definitely help you a lot, even in the job perspective, or even with bug bounties and side. So, like, for automating your task or integrating your application with other tools. So, in these cases, like, programming will be very useful. And then understanding the basic websites and flow, how the internet works, how the computer works, is obviously the one thing which you cannot avoid. It is basics. Probably after brushing up with basics, maybe I guess one should go for Portugal Labs or Try Hack Me. Personally, I prefer Try Hack Me. So Try Hack Me is pretty good, because it got, I think at the €10 it is worth, actually. It's really worth it. If you got your college or the university education ID, email ID, probably I guess they will give some discount, I guess. Maybe like €8 or something like that. The €8, it's really worth it for Try Hack Me. So spend a lot of time with Try Hack Me, understanding the basic AppSec and then all this stuff. And as far as the bounties, probably, like, maybe I'll suggest you to watch a lot of like the live recon videos. Like, we got like Nahamsec live recon playlist, something like that, or read a lot of blogs. Probably I'll suggest you, maybe you can add these blogs, add these links in the description. Probably I'll suggest you to check for Pentester Land daily. Like, new write-ups are often included. It is not just limited to Medium or InfoSec write-ups. It is almost all the blogs that you will ever see on internet with bug bounties. So probably, I guess, Pentester Land is pretty good for like, write-ups and stuff like that. And also, like, the best part is it got write-ups from 2014 to 2022, from the program Apple to any program that ends with Wizard, and highest bounty to lowest bounty. Like, all this stuff, they got these filtering, sorting, and features. So it's really helpful for, like, going back in the time and checking for any write-ups. That is really, I almost spend my lot of time with the Pentester Land, searching for write-ups and, like, for issues like that. Like, if in case, like, I was hunting on Apple for 7 days, and then, like, I got one CSRF and one bug which is related to iCloud. It was more like misconfiguration. These things are happening. That was due to the pen tester land, because and the other write-ups and stuff. I used to use Google Doc and site medium.com bug bounty write-ups, or Apple bounty, something like that. I used to do these Google Docking and stuff. Write-ups, it is really useful. And yeah, live recon videos. I guess, yeah, that's it, I guess. And also Twitter. Sorry, I missed Twitter. So be very active on Twitter. Twitter, it's more like a kind of a sort of gold mine, because Twitter is a place like where you can meet a lot of people.
Definitely. Any
Exactly.
bypass you want, go to Twitter.
Correct. You can just go to Twitter search and search for WAF bypass payloads. You will get all the payloads. You can go to Twitter and search for probably IDOR bypass. You'll get all the ways to bypass IDOR protections, or hashtag bug bounty tip. But in the recent days, we still find some copied tips. But Twitter is a place where you can meet a lot of people, engage with a lot of people, and find new things to learn. So I came to Twitter actually because I got my LinkedIn banned for 4 months, but later I got it unbanned somehow. I was doing testings on my own live LinkedIn account, so that kind of made some spam for them, and they had it banned for 4 months. I guess these things were happening, and I came to Twitter. Yeah, Twitter is really a good thing. So I guess that's pretty much for how to get started with someone.
One more thing, how to choose program. That's a big concern for all the peoples, right? How to choose program.
Okay, so as far as choosing program, I guess firstly I won't prefer anyone going with HackerOn or Buckroad or any program. Maybe I'll suggest you to use Google Docs to find some self-hosted VDP, which is vulnerability disclosure program, where they don't pay you, but instead they give you Hall of Fame or swags or
Most
appreciation letter.
importantly, the experience, right?
Yeah, it's for gaining experience. Once you gain some good experience, maybe I guess Hemant Bhai did a repo on all the Google Docs and stuff. Maybe I'll just give you this. Okay, so this one, if you just see this, you will see all the Google Docs which you can use this to find the programs and things. I guess that's pretty good for someone who want to get started. And make sure you go for programs who don't reward you, because when it comes to a reward program, there will be high competition, and most likely, for a beginner it will be pretty hard to find a bug. And even though if they find it, it will be most likely it's going to be a duplicate, because other people would have already found it. So
Rather than duplicate, it was like, okay, another researcher submitted it. Some programs, like a lot of people are so frustrated. Rather than saying them duplicate, they're so frustrated. Like people are like, okay, that bug was duplicate, so the tracker was doing something fishy. Bro, you found a HTML injection. What else do you expect? Every other hunter who's on that website has tried for this thing.
correct. And also, I was doing a testing on Sony a few weeks ago. It was in their main domain, Sony.com. I found authentication bug. I got in 15 minutes. I was like, hey, damn, this nice, man. And then I reported that, and within few hours it was closed as duplicate, because the obviously that was
The
it's not
common things are usually duplicate.
yeah, the one thing that a legend says, whatever you find in a short time, whatever the bug that you find in short time, it will be mostly a duplicate. So I guess we cannot deny this. You started doing some recon, you did a nucleus scan, you found a bug, you report to them, it's a duplicate, because that's a public template, and also that's a public template. I guess if in case you develop your own nuclear template, I guess that might not be a duplicate one, but still, if you find it in a very short time, that's a duplicate. So make sure you don't go for P4 or P5 or anything with just automated scans. Obviously you can report that, no harm in that. Luckily you might get a bounty for $50 or $100 or 150, 200. But make sure you don't keep so much expectations, because expectations always kills your this thing. It will be most likely a duplicate. And for choosing programs, coming to once again, go with a program that got a lot of features rather than a lot of scope. Because, let's say Apple.com, Apple gives rewards up to $500,000 with their kernels and OS related stuff. Obviously, as a beginner, it's like $500,000, damn, that's going to be nice. And then I went for that. And yeah, I got a bug, I got two bugs, but still, don't be lured by the reward. Because it's not like you're a beginner and you're going to get a bounty very soon. So for getting your first reward, it will take some time. So I guess they don't keep expectations on reward. Maybe you should go with the program which has a lot of features. If say Apple.com, they have 100, they have thousands and 100,000 servers want to pay them. Their IP range is very huge. So if you want to do testing, on Apple.com, it is like Sam Curry, you're going to do the testing for 3 months with a team of 5 or 6 people. So that's going to happen. And also don't go for Apple or Microsoft, something like that. Go for a program which has small scope and a lot of features. So I guess
Feature is the most important thing. Like, okay, it doesn't mean that the programs with like static website are not having any bug. They have bug. It's
yeah,
almost like a
obviously,
lot of people miss the basic common bugs just because
yeah,
it's a static website. It's not like that.
yeah, I guess 1 minute, I'll share one of this. Static website still got some bugs. Probably you can check their source code for any JS file. They usually got some leaked tokens or API keys or something like that. You can do some fuzzing. You can go to Shodan, see some stuff with the Shodan, any old IP or something like that. Or I guess one thing that is wrong with people is beginners is they often ignore WordPress websites. So if it is a WordPress website, oh, okay, I cannot find any bug in this. So probably you shouldn't do like that. As a beginner, I was once reporting a lot of WP JSON and XML RPC. But still, there are ways you can exploit them. But in the most of the case, they're going to be closed as duplicate or informative, because it got a less impact. And a few days ago, I saw this tweet where there was a vulnerability with Elementor WordPress, the CMS builder that got an XSS. So maybe you can check this tweet. This is a pretty good one. I guess this is with the okay. So this is with the the WordPress version. I guess there's a this one with the version. So check for the correct version. Try to go to GHDB, exploit DB, and check for the exploits for the framework which is being used. Let it be Joomla or Drupal or something like that, or even with the WordPress. So may make sure you don't use this one, any much scannings and stuff. On even though on scanning, you will be usually getting a duplicate. So that one thing. And also one more thing. So I was once hunting on a website. Um, so they were using a WordPress, obviously, and there was a form where we can do comments and stuff like that, and the moderator will approve or reject the comment. So I used basic the XSS hunted payloads. Probably that one of the payload, though it was a WordPress website, the payload was fired, and in their admin panel I got the screenshots and things. So that is one thing that has to be noted on. WordPress or Drupal, that really doesn't matter. Bugs are always going to be there, because there are vulnerable plugins, there are third party integration and tools used by them, so that might be vulnerable. So but still you will get the bugs. So don't ignore static websites, don't ignore WordPress or CMS things.
I have received a lot of bounties when it comes to this. Like, okay, static websites are usually, like, not only usually, they are maximally avoided,
Correct.
right? So there's a huge chance that the bug will not get a duplicate.
Yeah. So don't
Any
ignore
tips
that.
you wanna share? Yeah, continue.
Yeah,
Continue.
that's it.
So I think we said something. So anyway, any tips you wanna share? Something like, is there any bug or any tip that helped you a lot or something else?
One thing, it's always the one thing. Again, this may sound philosophical and cliched, but I guess this is the truth. Love the process, not the outcome. I guess, obviously this is not technical. Someone who expected hashtag bug bounty tip, you can go to Twitter and see that. This is people only like Gary V or Ankur Variku, Raj Chamani, they will be talking these things.
Gary, we have cybersecurity.
Correct.
Yeah,
Don't always go for bounties or Hall of Fames or something like that. Don't force yourself to become a bug hunter. You enroll into courses, seeing the other screenshots, and I guess it's all about your love for security instead of the money, which is the outcome. So I guess that is definitely, it should not be there. You should have the passion and interest, and you should love the process of finding bugs, getting 200 duplicates and 500 not applicables. So it's not I only want bounty, I don't want these things and all. So you cannot say like that. It's obviously everything is going to be part and parcel.
if
There will be a
it's gonna
failure.
be there, then both of things will be there at
Yeah,
some point.
obviously there will be failures and there will be success. The two phases will be obviously there. So I was learning for 1.5 years with bug bounties and things. And 2021 May September, the IRCTC thing, that kind of made a twist in my life. That was more like a turning point. It's not it was not like more like a one day one night success. So that took me like 1.5 years, and that was more like a result or a reward which the hard work that I did for 1.5 years. So yeah, obviously good things take time. So have the passion and interest, and keep working for what are you going to do. And never never be reluctant to not learning anything. Keep yourself updated, keep learning new things daily. So I guess that's it.
Definitely. And whenever I get students in my courses, all that I say is like, the only thing I can do is I can teach you.
Yes,
In the end, you have to practice.
correct.
Otherwise, you can't say that, okay, we are unable to understand this, that you have to do it all by yourself. That's all.
Yeah, bro, exactly. I think courses can give you only teachings. It's the only you who are going to do the hard work and practice for what your mentor taught you. So, and also I see a lot of people blaming the people who's taking courses and something like that. It's the thing which we can teach, or which can be taught by the mentors, but only the students who are enrolling it, they have to do the hard work. And they need to.
Everyone wants something called a magic pill.
That's not possible. Magic pill doesn't exist. The magic pill is probably hard work. If you work hard for 2 years,
Yeah,
probably you will get the magic pill after 2 years.
definitely.
So
So that's all for today's podcast. I will drop all the links that we saw in the podcast. And anything you want to say or end this podcast?
thank you for having me. That should have been sent to the first, but
So this was for today's podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and make sure to check the links given in the description.